This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I am here with the Shopping Friend. Since 2005, they have been your premier personal stylist, not only here in Denver, but across the country and expanding across the globe. I am here with Michelle, who is the head stylist as well as founder. Let's start off a little bit about yourself, Michelle. I mean, you would think somebody who started a company like this would be that little girl who dressed up, knew style, knew how to pick out their clothes, but that wasn't the case with you.
No.
Basically, it took a career change in the fashion capital of the world here, New York City. You were modeling for Glamour magazine, and lo and behold, you launched into a whole new career. Share with me a little bit how this got started for you.
Sure. Well, I actually didn't change careers. I was doing a lot of different things. So I was modeling and I was acting in New York City. And then I started doing all of these modeling shoots and I was working with all of these stylists. And in the beginning, I mean, when I was growing up in school, because I grew up here in Denver, and I had terrible style. I knew what I liked in the magazines, but I had no idea how to put it together. And then I moved to New York City and I started drama training. And I was learning how to act and got into modeling through, I was on a commercial shoot and they got me into modeling. And so I started working with all of these stylists. And instead of just sitting, because when you're on a modeling shoot, a lot of the models just sit there and do nothing. Yeah, so I just started kind of hanging out with the stylists and talking to them because I wanted to learn just for myself. I wanted to look good. I felt terrible when I was going around on go-sees, on castings, and everyone looked so much better than me. When I was putting my own outfits together, I just didn't know how to do it. And when I was modeling, I looked amazing. So I just started learning from the stylists, and I started styling some of my own photo shoots. And then I was on the Glamour, because I worked for Glamour magazine 4 times, so it was, I think, my second job with them, and I was talking to the producer, and she's in fashion. The producer is in fashion. And at the end of the day, I had gotten to become really good friends with her, and she was looking through my book, and she was like, who styled this particular shoot? And I said, I actually styled it. And then she asked me, oh, could you help me in my closet? And I was like, of course. And of course, I was like, I'm doing this because I think she's going to hire me again. I'm not thinking I'm really going to help her or anything. And so the next week, I'm in her closet. I end up shopping with her, after 3 hours in her closet. We shopped all day. And she was 47 and had been in the fashion industry for over 20 years. And I asked her, I'm like, how do you not know this stuff? And she said, it's because I'm a producer and I don't have time. And she never really had a relationship with any of the stylists and to feel comfortable to ask them. Yeah.
That is a great story. I mean, you basically firsthand are a product of your own service, really. Yeah. I mean, quite honestly. As they basically say, image is everything, and it absolutely is. But as we know as professionals, that doesn't just happen. Why do you think folks are turning more to professionals nowadays to control that image?
Well, it's kind of like any other business professional. If you don't know how to do something, I'm not going to try to do my own accounting or I need a lawyer to set up my business. I don't know how to do that. And it's the same thing with image. I didn't know how to style and to do fashion and image until I learned from those stylists. So every stylist that I worked with, that was my professor. So a lot of people have gone to fashion school or different stylist schools. I learned from working with all these stylists on all these different photo shoots. I've worked with hundreds of stylists, and when I moved to LA, I was working with stylists for film and TV as well, and I was learning a lot about storyboard, storytelling through your wardrobe. And so when most of these people who hire our team, they don't know how to do proper fit, how to do proper color, how to recognize between fabrics, how they fall on you. Those are things that are learned. And if you don't learn them, you don't know how to dress your body appropriately. So they're coming to a professional because, people are busy with their own lives, doing their own things. They don't learn everything. So, it's basically like hiring a professional in different parts of your life.
Absolutely. I mean, I know for myself, when I look good, I feel good. Life is just a little bit happier. But not only that, I mean, in the corporate world, that can affect your pocketbook. We're talking about landing a better job, keeping that position. Is that what you have found through the corporate world as well?
Well, there are so many studies now that show that your image can not only help you make more money, help you have better relationships, not just intimate relationships, but actual relationships professionally. And there was an entrepreneur, I think it was Neil Patel. I could have the wrong one, but I read an article a couple months ago where he said he changed his wardrobe and he literally made $500,000 more in a matter, I think, of 3 months because of his change in wardrobe. And then he said, of course, he had changed his wardrobe by shopping, and he spent like $100,000. But his friend went out shopping and spent like $10,000 and also had the same result in getting more clients and being elevated to in his position because he was working all these different jobs. He got a promotion, he got more clients. I mean, image is a huge thing. I hate to say that because it's that whole don't judge people by, don't judge a book by its cover, don't judge people by their exterior. But people do, yeah.
We do. That is the truth of the fact right there. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, there are folks out there that love to shop, and there are folks that just absolutely detest it. Yeah. Let's start first about those folks who don't like to shop. I don't want to go shopping. Why do you think that is, and how can you help them?
Well, 95% of our clients hate to shop. That's part of the reason they're hiring us, because most of the people who love to shop, they don't need us. And we have a few people who love to shop and they kind of just want the shopping friend. They want a companion and that sort of thing. But people who hate to shop, it's usually because they don't know what they're doing. So when you go to a store and you're choosing pieces that don't make you feel good, that aren't right for you, you don't know how to make that change because you don't know how to choose the right ones for your body, you're going to go home and feel dissatisfied. And nobody is going to enjoy an activity or an endeavor where every single time they do it, they feel dissatisfied. You want to be able to do something. I mean, people always love the things that they're good at. But for a lot of people shopping, they're not good at it. And so they're not going to enjoy it. I have so many clients who hated shopping, hired us, and now love shopping because they understand the fundamentals.
I was just going to say, you've probably found clients, like you said, 95% of your clients are that way. You've probably found clients who hated it, but yet at the end of the day, enjoyed it. It was a great experience and they're looking forward to the next time. Does that make you feel great?
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's such a cheesy thing to say, but when I worked for that producer for Glamour, and she actually cried. We were in her closet after the shopping, and she was like, I cannot believe I'm almost 50, and I didn't know these simple things to make my pants look better on me, to have my tops look better on me, to mask certain things. But she's like, they're so simple. And I was like, I know, they're so simple. And she cried, and like, it made me feel, the whole reason I even shopped for her was a totally selfish reason. And then after that, I was like, this feels good, which is probably also another selfish reason. But like, it felt great. I really enjoyed doing it. And that's how I got started into personal styling, because I was like, wow, it feels nice to actually know something really well and be able to like teach people that and pass that knowledge on and have them feel amazing. Because people, I know it's just wardrobe. I'm not curing cancer, but people are so happy and grateful when they have an entire wardrobe revamp.
I mean, what's nice about this is the fact that I don't see that as selfish. I see it as a professional choice you made, and then it turned out to be something very personal for you. I mean, it turned out to be a passion for you. Let's talk about, what about the folks that do love shopping? Obviously, this has got to be a great day for them. I mean, we're talking, what do? Show up with drink in hand and ready to hit it hard.
That is exactly what they do. So there's a lot of, I've been personal styling in Los Angeles for years, and I actually just got back from Singapore, where I was training some stylists to work for the shopping friend in Singapore. But in LA, that is the experience. They follow behind me. A lot of the stores will offer champagne or wine. A lot of my clients don't necessarily want to drink in the middle of the day, so they'll have like a coffee, but they are doing nothing. They're following me around, they're sipping their drink, they're having snacks, and they're having fun. They're enjoying the experience. I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the pulls, or my team if it's not me. And we make the experience so fun. It is amazing.
I mean, one of the things, like I say, that the name of it is the shopping friend. But many times we're talking about multiple professionals that are bouncing ideas off each other, sometimes to help the client. Is that something that kind of makes you unique?
So when I started the Shopping Friend, I had considered having the company be under my name, which is what most stylists were doing. And when I first started, there were only a handful of personal stylists in New York, and I think I might have been the first or second in Los Angeles. Nobody was doing it in 2002 to 2005. And I didn't want to use my name because I wanted the title to really communicate, more than me, and communicate what we were. And a lot of the stylists that I had met, some of them have some attitude. I mean, in the fashion industry, you will meet people who just have this superior arrogance, and I don't know where it comes from. And I felt intimidated by it when I was first in the fashion industry, and I didn't want anybody to go through that. So I wanted it to be the shopping friend. We're your friends. I wanted to make it really fun, and so. I mean, that's what we do, and so that's where the Shopping Friend came about, and now our team, like everybody that I hire, has to be kind, has to be really knowledgeable, has to be really skilled and experienced, and I've been training them myself, which has been a lot of work for me. Like, it takes away from shopping with clients. Sure. So I'm actually starting a stylist school.
That is great. And so you're passing on, giving back to society by basically providing something that you learned. Let's talk a little bit about the quality of clothing. We're talking about you're trying to put together the best quality clothing, yet at the same time using the client's time efficiently. Share with me some of the boutiques you work with. We're sitting here in Greenwood Village at the A-Line Boutique. Share with me some of the places that you frequent.
So A-Line Boutique is probably going to be one of the most successful boutiques. I don't generally take a lot of clients to boutiques because they are looking for efficiency. So I'll tend to go to, like in LA, we go to Bloomingdale's or Saks or some huge department store that houses a lot of different brands. A-Line Boutique is pretty unique in the fact that they house so many different brands and really good pieces too. They're really good at that. But so I don't generally do a lot of boutiques in Denver because those clients, they hire us because they want efficiency. So we generally will go to like bigger department stores. But there are a few boutiques that, like here, that we could actually come here and only have to shop here and be able to do like a full day shop in just this sort of store. But most boutiques can't do that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very customized approach that you are providing for folks here. I mean, obviously, what is it you find out on the front end before you even walk through the doors? I mean, we're talking about learning about the client. Is that important?
That is extremely important. So there's a lot of work that gets done before we ever step our feet into the stores. So we do questionnaires. I usually have phone and email consultations with clients to get to know their personalities. We usually recommend doing a wardrobe consultation where the stylist goes into their closet, gets an idea of the clothes that they have been wearing and purchasing for the past years. And even for clients who know that they're going to totally get rid of their wardrobe, it's good for us to see why they've been choosing certain pieces and why they wear certain things. And then we have them create mood boards, which A-Line Boutique is actually the first store I've ever seen with a mood board.
I've seen that.
Yeah, which is beautiful. So for clients, for people who come in, for customers who come into this store and have never created a mood board, that's a perfect thing for them to start with. But for our clients, we always have them create a mood board, either a physical one where they cut out pictures in the magazine, or Pinterest is now like the most popular way to create a mood board. And pictures is what people know. People know what they like. They don't necessarily know how to create that look, but they know what they like when they see it. And so that's one of the most important things. So we do a survey, we find out their personality, we do the mood boards. There's a lot of information that we have to get from them before we even start pulling for them.
Obviously, the corporate client is one of the first that I think of when it comes to shopping for, but quite honestly, you work with all different walks of life and all different types of body types, yes. And that makes it kind of interesting and creative for you as well.
Oh my gosh, it truly is an art. So when you're dressing someone's body, you really have to think about it as as an artist, like when you've got a blank canvas for a painter or when you've got a blank piece of paper for a writer, the body shape and the personality, that is your blank canvas, and you are trying to create, because your clothes communicate who you are and the message that you want to communicate to the world. And if you don't do it appropriately, it will make your client feel uncomfortable. People feel comfortable when they are wearing the clothes that express their personalities really well, that express who they want to be. Sometimes people dress for who they want to be, not necessarily who they are right now. And that also helps them. Most people don't know how to dress for who they want to be. People might know how to dress for who they are, but that's one element that we bring to the table that a lot of people who don't know fashion, they just don't know how to dress for what they want in the future. And so we help them get there.
One of the things, the service you're providing here really is an intimate service. You found that out on your first gig. Within a week, you were inside the wardrobe closet of somebody that maybe you didn't know that well. Obviously, it's important they find somebody that they feel comfortable with, and choosing out that professional, is that important as well?
That's extremely important. We actually have had to say no to certain clients because their personalities will clash with the stylist. And we are spending hours with clients, and they're spending hours with us. So we want to be sure everybody likes each other. And so not only should clients, because I always recommend the clients, you want to do some shopping when it comes to finding your personal stylist. This is someone that is coming into your home. This is someone you're spending hours with. They're going to get to know you. You want to be sure you trust them. You want to be sure you like them. And you want to be sure they know what they're doing. And so I always tell clients, how did you find me? And maybe I want you to look. And we have a team now, which is actually really helpful. If we have a client who doesn't mesh well with one stylist, I always have another stylist. But I've never had that problem yet. Our stylists are so nice and so experienced and talented that I usually will pair them by personality. So like I said, I would get to know the client first, and then once I get to know the client, I will pair them with a stylist that works well for them. And
excellent. Being in TV, I have a real keen sense when it comes to image. And really, to me, it's basically the shopping friend. But to me, it's an investment. This really is an investing in yourself. Is that how kind of you approach it as well, helping people get the best bang for their buck, really?
Well, that is our mantra, that this is an investment in yourself. And my clients, when they've come back to me, because I always check in with clients, and a lot of our clients will come back to do seasonal updates, and they tell me the results of their new wardrobe, their new look, because it's not just new clothes. It changes their demeanor. It changes their personalities almost. And that is a domino effect that changes like I said, their relationships. It changes I had one housewife who I think she was on the verge of divorce. And a change of wardrobe saved her marriage. And I hate to say it because it's obviously not the change of wardrobe that saved her marriage, but that was the first step. It's what it did to her. It brought up her confidence. She started to do more things for herself, which then started to make her more interesting to her husband. And it was a 1.5-year journey for her. And 2 years later, when I was shopping for her again, she was a totally new person. She went from being this depressed housewife who felt like her husband never listened to her, to now her husband was like engaged in trying to woo her again. And they had all this romance in their relationship. It was really outstanding.
Men are visual. I can attest to that. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can scan and take a look about how this began for Michelle. This is basically a journey that began for her, really in the fashion capital of New York City. She found out soon that she was enjoying what she was doing, being able to help somebody really be the best they can be, taking control of that image, be it a housewife or a corporate professional out there. Check out also, you can learn a lot about the other professional stylists that they now have on part of their team. Check out a little bit of the bios of each one. You'll find folks that are basically able to help you with your wardrobe, but also even some interior decorating as well. You've got a pretty well-rounded team, which is pretty impressive. Let me ask you this. You really only have one shot at making a first impression. And that impression can either be an asset or a liability for you. At the end of the day, it must make you feel really good that you're adding something to society.
I don't even think of myself as adding something to society, but to each individual, if you can just elevate their lives and make them feel better, because I've been in a place where I didn't feel good, and to be able to get out of that space and feel confident and feel happy and look down and know that you look good and not have to worry about it, not have that self-doubt and have that voice. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to witness when you see people go into that space. And yeah, I mean, I think that's helping society. It's so heartwarming. So it's a nice job to have. It's really fun, it's artistic, and I like working with people, so it's the perfect job for me, and I like helping them feel fantastic about themselves.
Fantastic about themselves. We're talking about a wardrobe that should tell your story. Once again, that is the Shopping Friend. We're located here in Denver, Colorado. We caught up with them while they're out on location. Once again, they've been serving basically across the country. They're expanding across the globe. This is a company that began in 2005, basically premier personal stylist for you. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.